Hi folks, this is Peter Boykin. I am running for Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. You can check out my website at peterboykin.com. So I'm in a couple of groups on Facebook, and I just want to include that somebody posted, I'm not a moderate. My response to that is, I am a constitutional conservative that knows that even the founders had a level, the Constitution, had the level of Constitution and moderation. You do know that's what moderate means. Keeping things in moderation. And of course, here's what happens. A response says, an easy way to become Republican in name only. The big, dirty word, RINO. The R word of Republican politics. And I know there's people out there that's going to call me a RINO. And here's the thing, folks. It seems nowadays that anything that the Republicans don't like, my fellow Republicans don't like, is woke. Anybody that they want to scapegoat usually ends up being the LGBT. Which makes no sense because there's lots of other people who give us problems. And I have proven multiple times that the LGBT do not generalize that community, because they're not all the leftist, woke people that you claim they are. And again, I've done polls. Well, the minute they find out about me, boom, they try to tell me I'm RINO. Oh, you're in the left. You don't fit. You don't fit. Well, our current lieutenant governor right now, people said that he don't fit. He's running on that case that he didn't fit. He's running on that so-called identity politics line. I'm not allowed to, and I don't want to, because I want to run on who I am. And just because of who I am, that's just a small portion of what I am. And I don't have to remind you every day. But what I did remind this person was, a RINO tends to be nowadays any Republican you disagree with, so in spirit we all end up RINOs. Let's not forget people voted to censor a Republican, that was Tom Tillis, for being a, quote, RINO. At the same time, welcoming him a career Democrat, and I have no problem with Cotton. I friended her on Facebook. I don't think I've talked to her personally, but they did welcome her. She was a career Democrat. She was elected as a Democrat who happened to help North Carolina's GOP get that super vote, and they embraced her. And there's nothing wrong, because people are walking away. My friend Brad Nostraka founded the walk-away movement. People have been walking away, or as I say, go right. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's the irony in politics. One person is RINO, one person's not. I said, but also in today's world of politics, if you don't believe in moderation, you tend to be an extremist, right or left, right? So they responded back disagreeing. They talked about their group, and they're talking about individuals and such. I won't even go into those details. I'm not exactly sure why they brought that up. They brought about an organization of people who who didn't agree with the Second Amendment, or they wanted sanctuary cities, or they wanted to increase national budgets and stuff. And they basically said they were the RINOs. I don't know their own issues. I don't know the people. And they said they lost those seats to Democrats. And then that's bad. My response is, FYI, there's an overuse of the word RINO, and it's barely used in the cases you described. Their response, a no-brainer. I'm not talking to you, and I'm not giving you an explanation. So I respond, anyway, some people are not going to call me some people are going to call me a RINO. They're going to call me a RINO because I'm not a social conservative. Newsflash, clutch to pearls, I'm not a social conservative. Doesn't mean I'm not a conservative, and it doesn't mean I'm not a Republican. Now, some people put me on their stupid, incorrect, fake news poll that I lean left, even though I answered all the questions. This is a Republican-leaning poll. Even though I matched up almost 100%, and I probably went more far right than some of my opponents in the last election. But they still put me down as lean left. And why'd they do that? Because of one demographic that I fall in. Because that's the scapegoat, right? It makes no sense. So people will call me a RINO just because of that. It's called generalization. Don't we always talk about how people need to get off the Democrat plantation and come on over to the Republican side? Well, we should be feel welcomed over here and not called a RINO for that. And definitely not a RINO for being not a social conservative. So, but, as I said, if you think again of all the unaffiliated voters out there that no longer label themselves as a Republican, and that's a growing base, the largest base in North Carolina, the largest voting base in North Carolina, they no longer understand, most of them no longer understand what a Republican is anymore because they feel pushed out. That's why only 10,000 out of 2.2 million registered Republicans bother to even go to a GOP meeting. And even a smaller percentage come to our county convention to elect delegates. So many people have different ideas of what a Republican is. And I stand with what I said. That you can be a conservative. You can be a moderate. But as long as you stand for America, especially if you put America first and Americans first, and you stand for its republic, the republic for which it stands, and the liberty granted in the Constitution of the United States, then you are a Republican. Nobody can tell you that you're not. Just because somebody wants to label you a RINO does not make you a RINO. Just because you disagree with them does not make you a RINO. I believe in Ronald Reagan's 80-20. It's 80% my friend, 20% my foe does not make you my enemy. And believe me, there's a lot of people teetering on that 81%. And there's already one. But we won't go into that. Well, her group is apparently LFG. And she said, I got LFG work to do. I've got to go. Basically, she says, have a great day, Peter. I have LFG work to go do. And I responded back, let's effing go. Didn't even use the dirty word. Work. You have a wonderful day too. And she responds, I'm blocking you. That was unprofessional as a candidate. My response is, get a sense of humor. How many people have tried to say, I like Donald Trump, but I don't like how he talks. I don't like what he says. Well, I'm not a keeper. You're not a keeper. You're not a gatekeeper. You're not telling me how I can and can't be a candidate. Because apparently being poor is supposedly a knock to you as well. You're unprofessional. Really? Who sets what professional is and what isn't professional? I don't match you. So my response is, go ahead, call me a RINO. You know you want to. We all know why. How's that for professional? Because I'm going to speak my mind. I have the First Amendment behind me to speak my mind. If you don't think I'm professional for speaking my mind, if you think you have, well, we haven't heard a politician speak like this before. I'm making it my own. I'm a non-traditional candidate. But I am a Republican, and I believe in all the people, we the people, the full Constitution, and my rights. And I will speak up, no matter what and who you are, no matter what side you are on. If I see something, I will say something. So God bless everybody, and I hope to see you on the campaign trail. And check out my website, peterboykin.com. And don't make assumptions about me. But if you want to call me, you can call me, 919-758-0597. We'll talk anytime you want. Or send me an email or check out the website, peterboykin.com. Peace.